Thanks, Dave Morgan, for sitting with us here at the Grand Hyatt in New York. You are attending a media conference here at the Hyatt right now. What's that about?
So I'm here today at the UBS Media Conference, which is really the preeminent industry financial, banking conference on the media industry. And we have companies from Time Warner to Viacom to Disney are all presenting here. And so while they're talking about a lot of different things, many of the companies here have made their local business a big part of the focus, local media, and that's portals like AOL and Yahoo, and obviously the newspaper companies are presenting here, the television companies are presenting here. There's no question the media industry is going through an extraordinary transformation and disruption, and lots of the companies that used to be around won't be around in the future. Some of the media channels will be less important. And there's no question people are reading fewer newspapers. There's no question people are listening to less radio, and there's also no question they're watching as much or more television. There's no question mobile is more important. And so I think that this is a really good time to really try to understand what's the future of local when it comes to media and marketing in what will be a transformed future.
So are we moving away from an internet that was picture-based, text-based, to something that is more video-oriented? It sounds like you're talking about a lot of different screens between mobile and
and I
internet.
think when we think of the internet, for most of us, the internet for the longest time meant the personal computer. It meant the personal computer, text and still photos, and interactivity and finding those. Now we have to think of the internet as more of an enabling distribution technology, an interactive technology that sits behind a lot of things. It will sit behind the PC still, and the PC will still have text and still photos and more video. It will sit behind the television screens as we see more internet protocol television. It will sit behind streaming audio. Maybe we used to call it radio before, but it may be digital audio that we're going to see in a lot of other forms. So I think we've now found that it will sit behind much of the technology driving mobile devices. So what we saw as the internet as a single channel that took place beside print and broadcast and outdoor and directories is no longer the case. We see it as a back end that enables entirely new media channels and that also powers the older media channels.
So you've been involved in a lot of different new ventures, technology ventures, and give us a peek of what you think is going to be hot and maybe where you're headed.
I'm personally very excited about what's happening in mobile. I use an iPhone, and I think location-based services like Foursquare, which you can make just touch it with your thumb or finger, and you can not only know all of the information about services available to you, but where your friends are, and potentially not only play games, but you have sort of ready-built loyalty programs for marketers, small business marketers. So I'm focused on television personally because I think that it's amazing that TV is growing in spite of the competition from the internet. I think that TV, national and very much local, will be a robust and important growing business for a long time. I'm also a really big believer in what location-based services will do on the mobile devices. I think for 18 or 19 years or more that I have been involved in trying to find locally based interactive services that could be highly leverageable for marketing, I would say finally today we're starting to see some.
It's kind of like the Holy Grail, I guess, for advertisers in order to...
I think it is. I think, and that's why the companies out there, Foursquare, Central, there's a number of them. They're not very well utilized yet around the country. They're iPhone apps or similar web services, but they have strong base in New York and strong base in San Francisco, and I think we're going to see a lot more of those. Certainly Google Earth and Google Maps. If you're in you travel much, or it just changes the way that you look for services when you're in other markets. And I think what's most important is right now, the whole market is focused on local. I'm here at the UBS Media Conference, just was listening at lunch to Tim Armstrong, the new CEO of AOL, and yesterday was Carol Bartz, the CEO of Yahoo, and both of them made probably the biggest point of their discussions as to where they saw opportunity going forward was local.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that all too often we've always seen local as about channels, like local is newspapers, or local is radio, or local is television, or local is directories. But that's not how things are happening now in the emerging media economy. It's now more about the customers, and the marketers are trying to reach local, and they're trying to understand now how they work with the different, all the different touch points to reach consumers, and for the merchants to be able to best exploit their marketing dollars. And so I think this is a really important time to really have, here in New York City, where it's the headquarters of advertising and marketing in the world, to have a really important conference focused on local.
That's great. Well, Dave, we're looking forward to your presentation in February, and thank you very much for sitting down and talking with us today.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to listening to the sessions as much as I'm looking forward to meeting the people and getting to participate in one myself.
Great. Thanks.